What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. That's still a little bit warm. I'll just put some more weld around this bit here just because I need a little bit extra there to dress up. But it is not going too bad. Not going to, I will show you in a minute. Today is Wednesday. This is a bit of like a midweek catch up, I suppose. But I'm going to be doing this all flaming week and there's some stuff going on that I just wanted to show you basically. So we're having a midweek one and then we're back again at the weekend. I've pretty much got one side of this all dressed up now. I've just got this bit around the headstock and the old welds to sort up the top there. But it's not coming out too shabby. I will get some pictures and show you. I'm not happy with it. I need to go over and there's some little blobs of weld that's needed just to fill in a couple of bits. Where you get two tubes that come together and you've done a fillet in between and then you try to dress it down so it's like that. What I'm finding is that it's not the lines that I'm seeing on this isn't down the middle. It's none of that. There's all the welds are full and sorted. It's where the weld bead comes down and it joins the tube sort of at either side. Trying to get in there and blend that line in because it tends to be quite a sharp angle. But trying to get in and blend that line away without taking anything off the parent tubes is actually quite hard. This thing is really, really good. However, I am getting through belts like you would not believe. But I've got some more coming and I probably need to order some more actually. But let me show you what's going on. Right. Okay. Right, realistically, I'm only getting like an hour and a half in here a day, but so you can see up here, it's all sort of blending in. There is a little bit of a thing up here with a low spot behind it, which I need to put a bit more weld in. But it's all sort of dressing out quite nicely. I don't know if you can see that. So it kind of goes down in the fillet. All around here has all been done. I've started back here on the inside pieces. I've just poured a whole load, like a couple of beads of weld on this one because that's the one that's getting it next. All the swing arm pivot point and stuff, that's all kind of looking quite nice. Dressed up the bits where the insert goes, dressed up the bits, sorry, that's where the old frame, old frame, new frame. And then down here is obviously where we've got the inserts, as you can see there. You can see the one on the other side, but this side it's all nice and flush. And then down here, this is where the side stand is going to go. So there is like a solid, well, not a solid, it is hollowed out, but there is a slug in there, which is just like a strong point for mounting stuff. So it's all sort of getting there, but it is taking ages. My bench is just covered in shrapnel and old belts. I'm getting through them. I'm getting through loads of these. Those belts are rubbish, they only last 5 minutes. So anyway, somebody did chip in with a, try using these belts, they last a lot longer, so I've got them coming and we're going to give them a bash. What's that? I've also had a delivery look. That looks alright, doesn't it? Where's the other one? Hang on, let me get the other one. There we go. Here's the other one, look, for comparison. It is night and day. You can't see over there, can you? Oh, I'll get to him in a minute. This is the old swing arm. So this is a Mark 1 Bandit 1200 swing arm in a fairly ropey state of disrepair. I wasn't very impressed with all this. The welding on them is horrible. It's just big and splodged on and nothing's dressed up or anything else. So I was looking for another one because I can't use this one because of all this lot. This is just, it's got a massive guff down here. The dip in it is just ridiculous. It is all straight and true and everything, but there's no way I'm going to be dressing this and fixing it up. I was toying with the idea of making my own swing arm. However, I would really want to do it out of alley. This bit is cast. There's a bit across the where's another bit that's that whole middle bit there is cast, I know, but I think there's another bit up here somewhere, and certainly the ends where the rear axle goes through. But I was looking into it, and I think I'm right in saying that this would have been made out of a 5, 6 or 7,000 series alloy. So basically they're the ones which, like 6082 for example, which is probably what I would have gone for. That's what I used on the top yoke. It's machinable, heat treatable and weldable. So I could have made something up like this and, you know, tigged it all in place and made a nicer job of it than all this blobby chewing gum stuff down here. However, to stop cold cracking, I think I'm right in saying that after you've welded it, you then need to heat treat it. You can get cold cracking, and this is partly why alley welding is like quite big beads and stuff, just to give it a bit of mass to help with the cooling side of things. You know, there's more there to contract. But it takes a mega ton of heat to weld alley. You have to use filler rod because otherwise it just splits straight down the middle. And if you let it cool down too quick, which is always you get a cold crack, which is where you get a crack that runs right down the middle of the weld. Because as the weld is essentially being quenched, because all the heat has been drawn out by the rest of the metal, the whole thing shrinks. And if it's shrinking too quick, then you'll get cold cracking. But I think they also have to heat treat it afterwards, partly to aid with that, but also partly to sort of normalise stuff again, because welding can be quite stressful. But this one is ropey as, and I'm not using it. So I joined a group on Facebook called Everything Suzuki Bandit, and I put a shout out about this one. This is a Mark II Bandit swing arm. And I was looking at them, and to me they look pretty much the same. And I was asking the question, is there anything different about them? Because they are different part numbers. The reason they're different part numbers, I think, is that all the, you know, it's got the torque arm, it's the same length, it's, you know, all that sort of stuff. The height of the pivot down here is exactly the same. But apparently the chain runner is slightly different. So you can see, just as a comparison, this has got lugs on here, they've been took off. It's also got these little clippy jobby things, which I hate anyway, just to route the rear brake hose. They've been took off. It has been cleaned up. This was all vapor blasted. And it's actually come up quite nice, and I can see that someone has had a go at dressing it up because the welds have been flattened off, which is something that I wanted to do anyway. It don't matter that he's had a start on it, but it actually looks really nice and tidy. So I'm going to be going with this one, certainly instead of that one, and I'm not going to be making my own because this is good enough. This should clean up. So the plan is, I want to see how good this welding is before I dress any more of it up. So I'm going to be cutting this bugger up. I want to see how deep these welds go and how much theoretically I've got to dress up off of all this. I just want to try and smooth everything out if I can, if there's enough there and the welding's up to par. If it's not, then it will just have to be cleaned up as it is, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was 65 quid delivered, which ain't too shabby. So Aid, if you are watching, thank you very much, mate. It got here and I'm really quite chuffed with it. Really quite chuffed. Look, they took all the casting, all this cast bit here, they've smoothed it all out and stuff, and they've not done a horrible job, not by a long shot. I mean, I think they stopped a bit short, but you know, it's not too bad. So he's going up on the shelf and he's going into bandsaw at some point. So I've been gathering stuff as well. And having stuff done. This is the same tube that sort of does the cross beams and stuff. Yeah, it's obviously same thickness, just so I can keep all the look of the frame the same and whatnot. So that's all 1.5 inches. But this is 3mm wall thickness, just because those bits that go across, you know, they're quite strong. I mean, that one takes like all the suspension, plus it's an engine mount. That one down there is an engine mount. So I figured, when it comes to gussets, go chunky. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So I'll show you this in a minute, but that was quite cool actually. I've got some more 3mm plate which I'll be needing for some of the gussets as well, and I've got some 5mm which is going to be some of the engine mounts and whatnot, so I can stick all those to one side. And I'll tell you about this. Where are you? Can you see this? Where are you? No, you're not going to see. Well, I don't know, you can see a bit there. I'll get a picture and shove it up. But what I wanted to do with this, if you look at the frame that way, basically I want to gusset in this back bit. So from a tangent on that arc, tangent on this arc, I just want to straight line it and then have it all come round the swing arm pivot point, weld it all the way around so we can put some added strength in this bit. And I've been measuring up the old frame. I've still got all the bits of the old frame and stuff, and that stuff was painfully thin. And it was just like 2 bits that was pressed together and a rubbishy weld down it. So if I can box that bit in and tie it into that tube, and the boss for the swing arm, I think we're going to be good. So it's going to sort of come across like that really, and then down to this boss. So what I needed to do was to split this tube. What I was going to do was stick it in Brian, you know, put like a V-clamp either side of it in the vise or something, touch the top and the bottom, and find the halfway point, and then just use a slitting saw to run down it. But I was chatting with Brett from the tool room. He's got some top toys. He's got some really cool toys, including a wire eroder, which I've never seen. I've heard of them, but I've never seen one used before, and it was really quite interesting actually. If you've never seen one, there's no point in me even thinking about getting one because they're massive. They cost a fortune, and you'll use it like once in a blue moon. But I'm not the man who's got one, so we could be in there. But how it works is there's like there's a really skinny bit of wire. It's copper. It's 0.25mm in diameter, so really skinny. It's got a tensile strength of like 1,000 Newton meters or something that he said, which I was quite surprised at for copper, because that's like quite a soft metal, isn't it? But essentially it's all CNC controlled, so this wire is just being fed from the top to the bottom. Your piece of work is clamped into a table and you just move the table about like that. It's all CNC controlled and stuff, so you can cut any shape out really accurately. It doesn't leave any burrs like a plasma cutter would, or an oxy torch or any of that. It's like perfectly straight and true and everything else. The edge of it is actually really sharp. But what happens is it feeds this wire through continually, and I think he had it on like 6 amps at 40 volts or something like that, and it just very slowly kind of eats its way through. And because it's all CNC controlled, you can cut out some awesome designs and shapes and all that sort of stuff, you know, with quite fine detail, and just have a lovely finish at the end of it. So he found centre point and he split it down the middle. The weird thing is though, it's arcing, so there's an arc that comes through the wire and it's all grounded out and stuff, but literally everything is submerged in water, which I thought electricity and water do not make good bed mates normally. But all they're doing is they're pumping the water in at like 2 bars, so just to get rid of all the crud and stuff that's being burnt off, so you get a nice clean finish. But it took ages, and you just set the machine and let it run. But it's done a brilliant job. So I can chomp him off there, and I've got 2 halves of tube with a lovely finish to them on the edges, and I've got some 3mm plate over there, which I can do the infill for. So we should be able to get these gussets in. So, you know, I mean, the infill bit isn't going to be much at all, but it's all got a tie in, it's all got to be done nice and neat and everything else, and I'll just carry on dressing up afterwards. So that, I'm hoping, is going to be a job for this weekend. But I've never seen a wire, I've seen spark erosion, because I broke a tap off in something and he used a spark eroder to dig it out for me. But this wire eroding stuff is really clever, like really clever. I like that. I do need to add a little bit of welding there, but I'm not going to do that until the gusset's in. I keep looking at it going, oh, you need to get this done, you need to do that. There's Dave Moore, he sent over some pictures of his his frame that he's doing, and he was saying that the coping is taking ages. You wait till you get to the grinding and dressing it up, matey. You're gonna be there for days. I only get like hour and a half in the morning, so today's Wednesday. Got half of it done. I'm hoping to be able to get the rest of it done for the weekend so we can get this done, but we'll just have to see how we go. I don't know. But there's a number of other people that have been in touch as well about their builds. And it's quite cool. Since I put the shout out, send us some pictures, I've just been inundated. Inundated. And I said I'd include them, so I'm going to. But it's really cool looking at it because you see different people's different ideas. So there's Mike Heald. I think that's right, H-E-A-L-D, Heald. I think that's how you say it. But he's doing like a 1200 Bandit chop. So I'll put a picture up so you can see, but he's put some work into this, and it's not just him doing it either. His dad's got a 900 Sprint, which I'll shove that up as well just so you can see, and he's currently got another Bandit on the go as well. I don't know if it's 6 or 12, but if you look at the pictures, he's already having a go at the frame, and he's put a single-sided swing arm on it, so I'd be interested to see how that one turns out. You have to send us a picture when you get a bit further on. Wayne Huffler, Huffer, I'm not sure. I'll have to check. He's the fella that was going on about these belts, and he recommended the what was it, 3M Cubitron belts. Apparently they last a lot longer and they're really, really good. And there's not much in price actually. And I quite like 3M products as well. So I've got some of them coming because I'm just getting through boxes of this stuff. These Silverline ones, these jobbies, where are they? They're all right for little bits and bobs, but they last minutes, and then you're basically just polishing stuff, you're not taking anything off. So I doubt I'll be getting them again. And then there's another fella, Phil Shilito. I'm sure it's Shilito. I can't remember, I should really write these names down. But he's got a project on the go at the minute, and he's going to town on this one. He sent me a picture, but he's done everything. Same as I've been doing with ASBO. He's done the frame, the exhaust, the mud guards and stuff. He's even done the tank. He's still getting through it at the minute, and it still looks like there's quite a lot to go. I think it's a soft tail, I'm not sure, but it's another chop. So he is properly putting some work into that one. I mean, if you look at this frame, the only bits, well, actually the only bits on the whole bike that is going to be Bandit when I'm done is the purple bit. So there's not much purple left on this. All the rest of it is mine. The wheels are different, the shocks are different, the swing arms are something else, the exhaust is all homemade. I'm tempted about tank, but I don't really know. I think I'm gonna just chop this one up and change it a little bit. But it's, that I want to build everything that I possibly can do sort of mentality. So it'd be interesting to see how that one turns out. So thank you ever so much for sending in the pictures. If anybody's got any more they want to send in, I will stick them all on the channel. I don't really care how long it takes. You might have to wait a bit, but I will get a couple in on every video and stuff. I always thought like the chopper type stuff would be better with like a twin or a single. And I know people do put Bandit engines in. I'm not sure if I would do that. I would probably go for more like the twin cylinder something. But they certainly look the part on this, and big efforts going in on those bikes. That's cool. I like that. What else have I been doing? Oh yeah, I've been mucking about with more dimples. Those dies that I did, they can put a really nice dimple in 3mm thick, but Preston, he ain't up to it. He's also not bolted down, which he really should be. I've got a 20-ton hydraulic press in the corner that will do it without any troubles. So the gussets up the front is probably going to be made out of 3mm, just because it's chunkier and stronger and all that sort of stuff, basically. And I also need to make up a couple more of these. These are the blind engine mount jobbies. I need 2 to go up in here, like that, 45mm apart, just so that engine mount is removable. I've been sketching out ideas for the engine mounts. I think I know what I'm doing. and I don't think they're going to be too bad. You know, they're not going to be in your face. I was going to make a bit of a feature of them, make them a bit bigger than they need to be so you can see them rather than squirrel them out the way. But I think I'm just going to squirrel them out the way so, you know, they sort of blend into the background. It'll all be a black frame anyway, so you won't see them. So I need to get a couple more of them done. But that's it really. So it's kind of a short one, and it is just an update. But there is so much work going on in here. But I don't just want to show you video after video after video of me grinding welds down, because that would just be boring. That would be boring as hell. You know, I think I've got most of the bits and pieces I now need to stick it back together again, and get some wheels on it, and we can have a look at it once it's all done, and you know, where the engine's going to sit and all that sort of stuff. So as soon as I get the frame done, he's back in there. Again, I'm open this weekend, so we can start on engine mounts, and then, you know, it's kind of start building it all back up again. I've had a chat with Simon Rolls as well. He's going to have the rear shock. Where is it? Yeah, there you go. I even backed it up for him, look. He was out on a ride out, leading a group or something. So he was going to come and get it, because I want all this, it works okay. You know, it's not weeping oil or anything else, but I want it nicer looking. So he is gonna take this back, completely strip and service it and everything else. I'm gonna have the spring off him, and I want it looking like new. So if there's any bits that need to be dressed up and sorted out and all that sort of stuff, I'll have them back and get them sorted, then he can have it back and he can rebuild it all for me. All I'll do for now is just get a bit of bar, couple of holes in it, so I've got the proper shock length, and you know, that'll do just for mock-up. But he's going to be sorting that out for me. So hopefully over the next week or two we get that lot done. There is no great rush on it, but it's one of those jobs that I can just get done, ticked and out of the way, and then I know it's all good. So anyway, there you go. No work going on that you're going to see, because I'm not going to pull the pants off you. But that's kind of where we are and what we're doing. So that's where I'm going to leave this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do hope you're well and staying safe. We will see you on the next one. Laters!